Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the digitally uploaded podcast, the companion podcast, digitally downloaded.net. My name's Alan, and the podcast is not dead. It was dead for a while. It was definitely dead for a while. We've had a bit of an issue with finding means of recording, which is why we've been out for a bit. So apologies for that. That's a fun thing. But we're back. We're on a different recording platform. Let's see how we go. Hopefully you'll actually be hearing this, which means that it hasn't cocked up, which is ideal.
I like how last week we got about halfway into it and then everything went to hell. So we had all that lovely
your
content.
mic decided to fucking melt.
I
like how you still think that's a possibility for this week as well.
It is a possibility, but I hope not. If it happens, I don't care. We're shipping this anyway. We're going to pull an EA and just ship it.
We'll patch it later.
Yeah, we'll patch it in later. We'll add a thing in like 6 months because it's a live service podcast.
We'll each individually record our own pieces and then patch it into the mix using Audacity or something.
Then I'm just gonna have a really high-pitched beep the entire time.
And we're gonna have lots of loot boxes.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you pay $170, I think it was, for the new Apex Legends things. So anyway, we have Matt here. Hello, Matt. This is Matt, who's editor-in-chief. Matt, we also have other Matt as well. I just wanted to alleviate that question at the beginning. Hello, Matts.
Hello.
There we go. Perfect. And we also have Trent. Hello, Trent.
Hello.
All right, we're going to go to some music really quickly. It's going to be some Miku nonsense. All right.
Miku, glorious Miku.
And welcome back from all that. So we've got some news this week that we've got a new game from Ace Team coming out. Now, if you don't know who Ace Team is, they are the developers behind such classics such as Rock of Ages 2 as well, surprisingly enough, and Xenoclash, I believe. I think that's the name of the game. Yeah, they're pretty.
Yes.
I think it's fairly safe to say that they're renowned for doing weird things. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. No, they're very. I mean, surrealist comes to mind when you think about their games, which is great because that's obviously what they do. Xenoclash was a good example of that. They've got a new game coming, which is what we wanted to talk about. Well, they actually got 2 new games coming. So the first one is they've got Rock of Ages 3 coming, which is great.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, Rock of Ages is great. If you've never played Rock of Ages, it's this weird mix of...
It's competitive monkey ball.
It's competitive monkey ball with some tower defense elements and Monty Python style humor over the top. And if that sounds weird, it's because it is. And that's kind of the point. But it's great. It's really good fun.
There's really nothing like it.
Nope.
Really nothing like it.
It's great. I think you've both played it too, haven't you, Matt and Trent? Everybody's played Rock of Ages at some point, right?
Oh,
okay.
No. Maybe. No.
It's a game you can pick up for like $5 now at pretty much any sale, so...
And it's on Switch.
It is on Switch.
It is on the second one is. Yeah. Rock of Ages 2 is on Switch. So the third one is it's basically more Rock of Ages, which is a good thing. And you get to, I mean, in the original Rock of Ages, you had the boulder that you had to roll down the hill and smash into the opponent's castle. Now you can also do that with a lump of cheese and Humpty Dumpty and stuff, which is pretty neat. And you can actually create your own levels too, which is a good thing. So you unlimited playabilities and contents and all that stuff. So it's bigger and better and probably more weird and wacky than previous Rock of Ages. And that's coming to what? PS4, Xbox, Switch, PC, the works.
So it's Rock of Ages Maker.
Rock of Ages Maker, yes.
Yeah.
which is just going to be nuts. I can't wait to create some amazing levels on that. Anyway, we've got reviews on the previous 2 Rock of Ages is up on digitallydownloaded.net, so have a read and yeah, you'll see why we're pretty hyped for these games. But the really exciting one is what's it called? The Eternal Cylinder. I think that's what it's called. Matt, you saw the news too. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I just Googles it. It's the Endless Cylinder, not the Internal Cylinder.
Oh,
Oh,
The
well, it
Endless
was actually
Cylinder.
no. It was originally
Same
known as
thing.
that. Sorry, my bad. I just wanted everyone to feel important. It's actually we were actually right. I'll go over here now.
I swear.
what?
I swear.
What the heck just happened?
You're as surreal as the Ace Team sometimes, Trent. Okay, so the Eternal Cylinder. That is a game that was announced this week. It's been published by Good Shepherd, which is they do good stuff. They publish good stuff. They find really interesting things, and it is basically Salvador Dali meets Pikmin, which I think is probably the best way to describe it. And
Miyamoto did acid, is what we're trying to say.
yeah, it's nuts. It's a really good-looking game and very different. And I don't know, Matt, you tell us about this game because I'm struggling to think of words.
So am I. I don't really know how-
Okay, I'm going to give you guys all a blow by blow. I'm watching the trailer right now. There is an egg with legs, and he's got a nose that looks like a dick. So he's running around. Yeah, it actually does look quite spory. Like, genuinely.
Maybe a
looks
little bit of
spory.
mix of No Man's Sky in terms of like the color palette.
Yeah. Well, like, so if you've ever played Xenoclash, you're probably used to that sort of very alien, otherworldly sort of vibe that the Ace Team group tends to give off. This feels like that. It looks rad. I don't know. It looks horrifying. It looks like something that would make me uncomfortable. You know?
It looks like that, but then there's a cylinder that seems to be just rolling around and destroying the world that you have to escape from by...
Wait, why did that ant thing just shit out an egg?
Cause.
so that you can eat it and then change your shape. And then your little Pikmin-like things, you command them to eat things, and then that lets them change their abilities and shape and whatnot, and help you to survive.
Yeah, they move up. They move up the food pyramid, I think, isn't it? As they eat stuff, they get more powerful. Whereas at the start, they're basically completely defenseless and the weakest thing basically in the planet. But as they eat stuff and survive, they get more powerful, which means they can eat more stuff. And the whole time, basically spore-ish, but with this great surrealist Dali-esque art style, and this giant cylinder that kind of rolls along behind you at all times, like this giant tsunami pulled straight out of, I don't know, Katamari. It's just.
I would encourage anyone who's listening to this and is thinking, "What the fuck is happening?" to go look up the trailer, because we're trying.
You're saying an endless cylinder.
We are doing our best, but it really does defy any description. You've got to see this thing to I guess get a feel for it.
Is a spider leg body?
It looks great, which is the point, I guess. It looks really good. It's procedural, open world kind of gameplay, so I guess that means it'll be endlessly replayable, and it's probably got the survival side of things is probably quite challenging to encourage you to play it over and over again, like a roguelike. And yeah, it's just very, very Ace Team. I really like Ace Team. I think they're a great developer. I think they just, every time they do something, it's amazing. In addition to what you mentioned at the start, Alan, they also created Abyss Odyssey, which was that 2D platformer roguelike thing that is based in Latin American culture. So you've got like a dude with the Latin American guitar. He's a skeleton, and he's like your guide and stuff. And
is he Uncle Death?
Yeah, he's like Uncle Death, but
he's just Uncle Death,
but Mexican, which is great. There's also they also did the B grade sci-fi one. I can't remember it now. The name of it, Attack of the Friday Monsters. Yes, that's it. The
Deadly Tower
B grade, the Deadly Tower Monsters. That's it. The B grade Edward Wood sci-fi Diablo game, which was a weird thing in its own right. And they recently put out Soul Seraph about a couple of weeks ago. So, which was that blend of 2D platformer and tower defense. They just do different stuff, and I think
none of their games are the same except for their 2 series.
Yeah,
which is impressive.
They definitely don't pigeonhole themselves into anything, which is great. And they're also probably Latin America's most well-known and enduring developer. They've been around for about 20 years now, I think. And yeah, they're from Santiago in Chile, and we don't hear enough about Latin American developers. So yeah, these guys are up there, and that's why I like them.
All right. Well, with that, let's go to some music really quickly. And let's play some music from Rock of Ages.
Oh, yes.
and welcome back from that. So, we've also had some news recently about an upcoming game known as Borderlands 3 with the most okay and fine, everything's not on fire PR marketing cycle that I've ever seen for a game ever. Those of you who don't know, Borderlands 3 is a looter shooter developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K, particularly involving the one Mr. Randy Pitchford, the prodigal son, the magician, the card dealer, the potential actual pedophile. Anyway, on a nicer note, 2K sent private investigators to a YouTuber's house over some leaks. Now, this is not as initially clear-cut as you'd think. So this bloke, I forget his name. Hold on, I have to check his name. He was basically becoming YouTube famous over leaking information from Borderlands 3, and he was getting this information from Twitch streams that were being run by the developers in order to test the internal Twitch features. It happens with a lot of games. So he somehow managed to get around the fact it was a private stream by going to the thumbnail on his phone and watching this Twitch stream through the thumbnail rather than actually clicking on the stream. So he could see things that weren't really meant to be seen, and then he would leak that data to YouTube and was getting famous as a result from that. What this essentially led to was 2K being like, how is he doing this? Stop it. And then just sending private investigators to his house over a year and a half after he started leaking. The thing with this as well is that legally 2K is sort of right. They're kind of right to do this because this YouTuber also offered a paid service where you could pay $5, I believe, to join his Discord, where he would leak more information about the game, which is where it begins to get a bit spotty. And Matt, I want to sort of ask you, have you ever had a problem with leaking stuff in the past? Like this sort of level? Matt?
Which Matt?
Either, I guess.
No.
Have you ever made someone pay for leaks?
I mean, well, we don't charge people for anything on digitaldownloaded.net. That's why we're all poor, Alan.
Coles always pays for leaks. When you go to Coles, you have to pay for your leaks.
Trent sleeping the podcast, everyone.
That was an early morning joke. That was.
It's not even early. It's like 9.
9.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't follow this stuff too closely because Borderlands 3 is pretty much trash, and I'm not going to touch it. I was never going to touch it in the first place. But I don't know. If the guy's getting the video, if his source of the leaks is from video that he can access off the internet, then I don't see how that's his fault. That's Twitch's
fault. The idea is
fault.
that you're not meant to be able to do it technically, so it's a private stream.
Yeah, but
you took advantage of that and went through an unreasonable method.
That's an issue with Twitch, isn't it?
Not particularly, because it's still under the idea that it's a private stream and you can't access it with sound or anything. Like, you're looking only at a thumbnail, which is a tiny little bit of information.
I would suspect that it would still be an issue with Twitch if it was to somehow go to the courts, because that's their platform that's screwing up.
That feels like maybe Twitch shouldn't let you watch the thumbnails of a private stream. I mean,
it does also sound like that. It sounds like a big old cock up.
Maybe they should have streamed a Mixer instead.
Yeah, join Ninja.
Yeah.
Everyone's best friend in the world.
There'll be 2 people on Mixer.
On Ninja. There'll be 2 people on Ninja. He only streams with dudes, though, remember? He doesn't want to stream with any women. Because he's afraid that they'll be shipping.
Oh,
anyway,
that's right. Yeah, that's
that guy.
Ninja's a good guy. Ninja's a good dude.
Ninja's a good guy.
He's a good dude.
Nice.
Ninja and Randy are probably good mates.
No, Randy's too busy magicking his own company's money away.
The Twitch community.
Twitch is fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Just
other than apparently leaking every private stream.
No, not everyone. It was one dude.
I just it's I cannot imagine how a technology platform like Twitch can possibly get away with letting people see private streams in thumbnails, and that's not very private anymore.
Yeah, but Matt, you don't understand. Randy Pitchford is going to come to your house and he's going to punch you in the mouth. And then he'll spit on your body.
Was he
That's
trained
really-
for punchy?
Maybe. I wish.
I mean, when
he's more likable as straight from Punchy, honestly.
when the story first broke, I actually thought it was like an issue where 2K is like trying to intimidate some guy that's got access to leaks and stuff, and I thought that wasn't particularly cool. But then I discovered it's just because 2K Randy is incompetent, plus Twitch is incompetent, plus this dude just happens to have access to a private, or he can find the private thumbnail. So,
the issue is more with the fact that he was making people pay for extra leaks, which is where it's like a degree of separation. Because the reason that a lot of websites can get away with posting leaks is because they're not directly making profit off of it. They have ads running on the site, which then will give you profit. Not that I'm actually I'm a lawyer, therefore do not take my legal commentary here as advice. I think that's the disclaimer you're meant to use. I'm not a lawyer, but from what I know, is if you end up in control of some kind of leak and you decide to share that for profit, then you're not doing anything legally that you. The earning of the money is not a legal issue. Like, for example, if some whistleblower drops stuff to a newspaper and the newspaper then puts it in their newspaper and sells it, that's not the issue. Is not that they've sold that content. No, it's the subscription model that this guy was making them pay for. Well, that's the more of the issue. If he's getting access to some kind of exclusive content because Twitch plus Randy are completely incompetent, then good on him, as far as I'm concerned, because I can't see where he's in the wrong there. He's just making money from exclusive material. If I had something that hundreds of thousands of people wanted, and I could get away with selling it exclusively, I probably would too. All right, we'll do it then. Let's go hunt Twitch streams. Yeah, but then I have to watch Twitch. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to hunt Twitch streams then. They ban all the good games. They don't. They do. Oh, okay. They banned the tit games. Yeah, that's exactly right. The good games, the ones worth playing. Okay, well, that's fine.
See, I'm just
hey, Alan.
Alan,
I've got a game for you to play.
I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, you go.
It's called Saga no Uta.
Oh, is that weird horror game that's like keeps getting in my feed? It's like this game's really, really cooked.
In English, it's called The Song of Saga. It's available on Steam now. You should go and download it.
I'm not going to do that.
You really should. You'll have a good time.
Matt, there is sub-zero chance that I will listen to any of your recommendations.
You really should. You played Valhalla.
I did. I haven't played much of it though.
I finished it.
You know what? When I finish this stupid degree, that's when I'll have time.
For Song of Saga?
No, for Valhalla. That game actually looks like an actual thing that doesn't make you want to throw up.
Well, Valhalla, I mean, Song of Saga will make you throw up, but in a good way.
It's not a good thing. I want to throw up in general. I'm not a soy protein munt machine.
Well, it's better. They're better than playing Borderlands 3.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to some music from a 2K game. Pick a 2K game that you like, man. What's the 2K game that you like?
That's a bit. XCOM: The Bureau Declassified.
What? No.
No,
we're doing XCOM 2. Screw this. It's Michael McCann. Alrighty, so we've actually got a bit of a different topic because I've been thrown off. We had a plan. Matt's now thrown a spanner into that works because he's an absolute dickhead.
I like keeping you on your toes, Alan. This is my job.
It's not your job. Your job is to be the editor of the site. My job is to record this shit show.
I have two jobs and missions in life. One is to throw you constantly, and the second is to completely you every week.
Oh, nice.
This is my life mission.
That's really great. I'm so glad you're spending your time well.
I'm pretty good at it, you have to admit.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Alrighty. So Matt wanted to talk about a game called Plague Inc., which I'm sure listeners may already know of. Plague Inc. is a mobile game originally, where you are a virus. You are a virus that you want to infect everyone with, and you can do it in a variety of very fun ways. Matt, do you want to go into more detail? Because I've not played this game in like 10 years, and I feel like my brain is melting.
Yeah, it's been around a while. I guess the reason I wanted to, or the idea to talk about it came because it was released on the Switch this week, last week, recently, very recently. And so I've been playing it a lot. And every time it comes out on a new platform, I get all hooked on it again because it's a very good game, a very kind of casual strategy game. Is that the best way to call it? Is that best? Casual strategy game.
I'd say it plays more like a board game than anything else, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's like a real-time board game, though.
About board games, guess what I backed on Kickstarter? The board
game
of it. Yes!
Oh, there's a board game of it?
Yes!
Oh, God, I actually didn't know that. I made a guess. It's nice.
So, with Plague Inc., you start with a disease which is not much worse than what Trent and Matt have right now, which is a basic cold, really. I hope they're not going to die now after I say that, because that would be a bad call.
We are slowly all marching to our deaths, Matt.
But you start off with a very weak kind of virus, and then you need to use DNA points to mutate it. And as it mutates, it becomes more powerful, and you start getting more symptoms, and then more people start to get infected, and then they start to die, and then global panic spreads, and your goal is basically to kill every single person on the planet before somebody comes up with a cure, or before the disease kills everybody it's going to kill, and then stops being stops being contagious. So it's not. I mean, it's a pretty dark theme. It's a pretty dark idea of a game, but I've always found it really fascinating because I don't know. I find this topic really interesting. I mean, people are getting more and more concerned, I guess, by the potential of what would happen if there was some kind of superbug to come, so the next stage up from the Spanish flu or the plague. And if an epidemic like that were to spread with the more kind of dense populations that we have these days, and I guess the way the global economy works now, what would happen? And there are a lot of people that would rank, I guess, some kind of super plague as one of the more likely apocalypse kind of scenarios in the world. So I actually find, despite being a very casual game, Plague Inc. does a really good job of emulating that because, as the disease spreads, governments initially start throwing money into researching how to deal with the plague, but then they start to, society starts to break down, anarchy breaks out, governments fall, and those countries stop contributing to the cure efforts and all that kind of stuff. So
the trick is to move to Madagascar because they close their borders straight away.
There's a couple of countries. I mean, because of the way that the system works, plague spread internationally via boat or plane. There's a couple of places which you can actually lose because they close their borders before you can get the infection into them. So for me, it's always New Zealand or Greenland. I always have this problem where I kill 99% of the population, but a couple 100,000 survive in New Zealand because the plague didn't get there before they closed their borders. And I blame Matt for that.
Matt, important to note, though, is that Greenland will soon be an American property.
Oh, don't even start me on that.
So it doesn't matter. Nothing
matters. Yeah, that makes me sad to think. I don't think the Greenlandic people... Is it the Greenlanders, Greenlandic people?
Greenlandian.
Greenlandians? I don't actually know what you call them.
Iceland is Icelandic, so Greenland should be Greenlandic. I don't know, it just seems a bit weird, though.
Greenlandic.
I don't know. I don't know if the 50,000 people or so in Greenland would particularly want to have Donald Trump as their emperor. But anyway,
King, I think is the correct term.
But point is, Greenland likes to close their borders before the disease gets in there. So there are a couple of countries where you would probably want to be, I guess, when a plague breaks out, because they're probably the safest. This is what this game is teaching me. It's very educational. It's hugely educational. But yeah, it's on the Switch. It's good. They've over the years, because I think it came out first in 2014.
It's old, yeah.
Yeah, over the years they've added so much stuff to it, and there's so many different scenarios now, and some of them quite jokey. Like there's one scenario where you need to make a board game that gets so addictive that everybody gets infected by playing the board game, and yeah, it's got some joke scenarios now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, it is good. It is very good.
I just want to point out how absolutely ludicrous it is, the fact that 2014 is 5 years ago.
I know.
It's ludicrous.
Well, to put it in other context, when I first played it was the PS4 release, which was 2016, and when I did that, because I did it for a review, I called my first disease Donald Trump, as you do, and he did proceed to infect the entire planet and destroy the world. And I thought I was being very funny when I did that and wrote a review about that, because that was before he was elected. Now he's elected, it's almost like it's coming true, and I'm scared.
This is why you don't do anything for political.
So this game came out in 2012, Matt.
2012, wow.
Yeah.
It's been kicking around a while.
Yeah,
Still very playable. And I'd say I had a look at the Switch charts, and it's on the Switch charts, so it's obviously still selling. It's been a huge, multi-million copy blockbuster of sorts.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, why haven't you played it yet, Matt?
Don't know.
It's pretty cheap. You can probably pick it up.
Not interested?
It's me. I should.
Have I convinced you now?
Yes.
Cool. That was a very...
I probably still won't play it. I mean, how long ago did Alan convince me to play Sexy Brutal?
Oh, yes, I know.
No, but I'd never really convinced anyone, because it was always a joke to you absolute idiots.
It was
I was being real, and everyone else was sitting there being like, yeah, you'd like it, that's the thing.
That's the thing, and I know I would, and it looks really good, and I bought it and haven't played it yet. Even though I know I will like it when I eventually do.
The other good thing about it is, Matt, you can actually play through a full game of Plague Inc. in about half an hour. So
it's a fun game.
For an easy casual kind of strategy fix, it's a little bit more accessible than Civilization or something where you need to sit down for dozens of hours. So
it's like a casual Civilization. You instead of creating the world, you're destroying the world, one country at a time.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's fun.
Check it out.
And we can quickly segue, since we talked about it as a port, we can quickly segue to what you wanted to originally talk about, Alan.
No, we're not doing this anymore. We're saving it for next week. No, I'm mad.
Well, can I just mention how crappy Turok is?
No, we're talking about it next week.
Super Monkey Ball doesn't have all the mini games. So mad.
That is also atrocious.
Yeah, what is it with developers pulling features out?
Because they want to sell them back to you as DLC, Matt.
Yeah, for listeners, if you see Turok 2 on the Switch shop and you think, oh, I remember Turok 2, that was a good game 20 years ago, I had great fun with the multiplayer on that game, and then you buy it, like I did, you'll realise that there is no multiplayer in it, because they pulled multiplayer out of a 20-year game, because apparently the Switch can't run multiplayer for a 20-year-old game, and this drives me nuts.
So it is platform exclusive. So on the Switch it has no multiplayer, and then on the other consoles it has multiplayer. Is that the issue as well? No?
It has multiplayer on PC and Xbox. It doesn't have it on the Switch.
What?
Because, yeah, I know. It doesn't have multiplayer.
Nah.
I thought we were talking about this next week, Matt.
Well, no, we're talking about it now because I'm really angry. I'm still fuming.
Stew on your anger.
You don't understand how much I like multiplayer on Turok 2.
And I won't be here next week, so, I got to get a conversation.
You weren't even born then, Alan. I know that.
I was born. It was like 1997.
I know you don't remember Turok 2 multiplayer, but I do. I have fond memories of this. This was when I liked first-person shooters, Alan.
No, when is Turok 2? No, I'm actually mad now.
You're gonna actually Google it, dude. You probably were born like after Darude, Sandstorm.
No.
Yeah.
Turok 2 was 1998.
Yeah, Alan's too young. Oh, you won't remember it. Shut up.
You're like
I'm-
2.
I'm not 2.
You were back
I've
then.
almost got a master's degree. I'm not 2. I have higher education. I'm actually getting mad. It's freaking ridiculous. This millennial content. I'm done. We're gonna look at music.
Turok music.
Yeah.
Miku.
No, sorry, I don't know what Turok music is, Matt, because I was born after fucking 2012. I don't know what
Well, it's
music
classic.
is.
It's counted as classical now because it was before you. Before BA, before Alan.
Some good classical music.
I hate
All the
this.
synths.
Alan, how old were you when Turok 2 came out?
I was 2.
Ha!
Okay.
I was right.
I was a 1996 boy.
You certainly
Actually-
weren't playing Turok 2 when it was new then.
Oh no, so it came out the day before my birthday, so I was 1 in 355 days.
That was your birthday present, was it? As a 2-year-old, you did.
Yeah, because what I wanted was a game that I could not control, nor could I comprehend, and instead I just wanted to scream. I hate this conversation. So we're ending this here.